I've always loved 240s. They've always been one of my favorite cars ever.
I hate them.
Yeah.
Especially the owners.
Drip and drift.
Welcome to the Drip and Drift podcast. My name is Nick, and today's guest, you've seen him on the pod before. He's back after another year doing his thing. Please welcome Khalid K1 Slides. Welcome back to the pod, man.
Sir, thank you for having me. Man, I've been wanting to come back for so long, you don't even know.
Yeah. Well, it's been a year, and I tell people, like, yo, like, things happen. Come back on the pod. Let's chat back again.
Yeah.
See what's going on. So
I got a lot to talk today, so we're good.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen the last episode, after this one, go check it out. His backstory, where he comes from, all of that. Today is going to be all new stuff. Catch me up first, I guess. What's been, since the last time you were on, you had the GTO. I'm pretty sure you don't have that anymore. So catch me up. What's going on?
Man, so I think I remember I was still getting the motor built. Me and my dad were putting it together. So long story short, we get it ready, put it in, made I think 450 to the wheel at the dyno, if I remember correctly. Took it to 2 track days, and then that's when I realized GTOs are terrible for drifting. Like, it was so bad.
And you wonder why we don't see them.
Yeah. Man, first off, parts are just so hard to get. I had to wait from Australia for like a camber kit, and the angle kit that was on it needed to be rebuilt or just replaced, and that was from Australia as well. And the company that made them are discontinued. So you can't find a used one unless you're paying a lot of money, or you just have to get one custom made. I don't have money like that, especially to put in a car that doesn't drift well. So what I did was I decided to post it for sale. It sold pretty quickly for what it was. Nice. Turns out 3 days later, it burnt down completely to the floor. Yeah, I could show the pictures of you right here. Yeah. The kid who bought it didn't even know how to drive manual. And it's fine. It's got to learn it. So his mom checked out the car. She went for a test drive. His dad, the boss of his mom, and I believe a mechanic. So like around 5 people test drove the car. This is like over a week. So they know the car was solid.
Right.
So 3 days after buying it, he texts me, "Hey, where's the fuse box so I could fix the phone charger?" I was like, well, if you have a car like this, you need to know where the stuff is. But so I told him it's on the left or right hand on the left or right hand on the engine bay on the top. And that's the day it burnt down. He wired something wrong, I'm guessing. And so he came with a bunch of backlash that same day, wanting his money back, this and that. We just told him straight up, like, look, this many people test drove the car that you knew. The car is yours. There's no backlash on me anymore.
Yeah, it's true. Once you do sign that title, like, the deal's done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not Walmart. It's not even CarMax. Like, you buy a used car, you get what you get. And especially, that's the way to do it, by having people test it out.
Yeah.
Like, even I know about cars, I'll always bring a buddy with me.
Yeah.
It's having somebody else's eyes is always helpful. So
of course, and it wasn't even like it was like 5 people that test drove it over a week. So the car was solid. Yeah. Like, we know the car is solid. Yeah. And then it burnt down like 10 seconds from my house. I have the videos and pictures of it. It's amazing. Well, not amazing, but it's lit.
Yeah. So then after that, you got the Vette.
Yeah. So the money I got from the GTO, I bought a Vette, a C5 Vette. And so far, it's been a love-hate relationship with it. Yeah. It drives amazing, like phenomenally good. But the downside to it is just when it breaks, it's expensive. Like, the past 4 events, I broke down. The first 3, I broke down either the night before or the first lap out. It was the clutch related, my Guibo broke, my input shaft, my diff, my torque tube cracked. Like, I barely have any seat time these past 5 events. Yeah. But when it works, like, it works.
Yeah. Like, you do like it when it's right? Like,
that's why it's like a love-hate relationship. It's like a girl, you like her, but she's toxic, so it's like that back and forth play. You know what I mean?
Yes. I do know that toxic relationship. Yeah. Dang, man. Yeah, because that's the thing. I was just talking about with somebody about like how the Vet is one like a proven car. People daily them and then drift them at the track, and you know they love them. But I guess yours hasn't been.
Well, I run it like super gripped up in the rear.
Okay.
And I think what started causing it was when I started running Zeknovas, and I'm running at like 25, 30 psi, and I don't know if a lot of people know this. Corvettes have a lot of chassis grip. So, let's say your Z, for example. What PSI you run?
Like, in the rear, probably like 25-ish, maybe a little higher, but
like on a 265.
Right now it's 235, 245s.
Okay.
I've been running.
So I'd be running the same pressure on a 235, and I'll create maybe a little bit or very close to it amount of grip you can make. That's how it's like really, really good. But I do have weights added in the rear to put more pressure on a tire.
Got it.
So that's another reason for the grip.
Interesting.
Yeah,
because they are, even though they're made out of fiberglass, they are still heavy, right?
Actually,
or no,
not really. So with me being fully gutted, the heater core out, door panels cut, aftermarket seat, I'm talking everything out the car. With the cage, I sit at 2950, and that's with me in it. So it's under 3K with me in it and a cage.
Yeah.
That's pretty light.
Yeah, that's good. That's great with the cage and everything. Nice. So, is it running at this current moment?
Yes, it is running now.
So what's the next event for the Vet?
So right now I'm in this like little phase of my off season. Like I don't know if you've seen, I just got it painted. I got all the body work done. I did it myself. I got a sponsorship for the paint job. Shout out to Speed Demons. He did a phenomenal job on it. All the you don't even know. I had like, not a dent, but like my fiberglass was ripped off, and he made it. You don't even notice it.
Yeah. Nice.
And he did a phenomenal job. Demetrius, you're the man. Everyone go to Speed Demons in Daytona.
Right.
And so now I'm doing a motor swap because I make 330 to the wheel on a stock LS1, and I decided about building it, but I don't want to build it and not have a backup motor. So what I went ahead was I picked up an LS2. I got Lunati crank, Lunati rods, JEP heads, racing heads. Like it's going to be a nice built motor. And I have John Fernandez in Tampa who's actually going to be building it. And I should be picking it up this week, actually. Nice. He did all the machine work, and he's sending me videos, and it's like amazing work. Like, cool. It's like a machine's like, I don't know how to explain it, but he does amazing work. Yeah. And so shout out to John Fernandez for doing that for me. He's a very nice guy, and he's the one that offered to do it. And I was like, you know what, you're the man. Yeah. Take the motor, just call me when it's done.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing, like trusting somebody to do that stuff, because you never know. Like,
Fernandez is very known in the drag racing world, because my dad races as well. Yeah. So they're buddies, and my dad never really sends work to anyone unless they're professional. And so when my dad said, Fernandez knows what he's doing, I was like, you know what? Take it. My dad trusts you, I trust you.
Nice. Awesome, man. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that come out, man. Are you going to be competing this year any?
Yeah, so my plan was Pro-Am with the new motor, but seeing how time is, I'm probably going to miss round 1 and 2. But if I can make it, I'm going to sign up right away.
Yeah.
It should drive the same. I am moving the radiator to the rear. I'm doing electric power steering. So I might have to do like little private sessions here and there. Yeah. But I'm for sure we'll be competing.
Nice. And since the last time you were on, you hadn't competed yet, had you?
No, I was starting to. So those 4 events were comps, and I couldn't make them.
Yeah.
So it sucks to see that I couldn't drive to see what I can do.
Right.
And just like seeing how drivers were doing, I'm not trying to be cocky, but like I know I could do well. I'm not saying I can podium,
right?
But I know I can at least get to podium. Like Mid-Pond, Alabama for Spring Break Bash, it came in top 8 or top 4, if I don't remember correctly. But there were some good drivers. It was good to see on our actual course what I can do. So it was good to see.
Nice. Yeah, it is interesting. I think about the guys in our scene and that are coming up in Pro-Am level, like who's that real competition that you got to look out for, that or maybe you do hope that you line up with them, or you're trying to avoid lining up with them.
Bro,
like
I've been wanting to go against door tappers for so long. We've been DMing so many times, like Joseph, Edwin, Josh, like those three came up a big time from last year when everyone was like hating on them, and then they proven themselves year after year with King of OSW and just like making a good name for themselves, which is great. Shout out to door tappers.
Yeah, for real.
They really came up, and I'm proud of them.
Yeah. I was talking to Edwin last weekend or the weekend before, and it was funny because he was saying that, you know, like when we came into OSW, not many people liked us. I was like, yeah, I was one of those people. I was like, look at these fucking guys coming in here, and now I love those dudes. Like they're not only like getting really good at driving, competitive, like they're actually genuinely nice people. Like they welcome me in, like just like really good guys. And like I'm glad they stuck around and like pushed past that little bit of hate that they were getting. Like. Yeah, they
were getting called like door smashers, door fappers, Wi-Fi door tappers.
And he was even telling me that even it was people from the takeover scene as well that they came from were also hating on them for going into drifting. So it was like both sides, which could I feel like could mess with your psyche a little bit. And I don't think they let it get to them because they're podiumed at OSW and
they're good drivers for sure, and especially. FRS Tay, I've been watching his driving. He came from like C class for me watching him, and he's like stepped up big time. The only thing I see holding him back is his car, but if he can get that figured out, man, he'll be just with them. He's there now driving wise, but the car is holding him back 100%.
Yeah, everyone else does have a little bit. Either like the FRS 4-cylinder.
Yeah, 4-cylinder.
It is a little smaller.
He's not boosted, so it's a stock 4-cylinder, maybe tuned with exhaust, but. Man, you can see it's holding him back a little bit.
Yeah. Well, thanks. So, tell me a little bit about Yeet Fleet. I've been seeing that on the side of it's you, Farah, and Tom
Pernstar.
Yeah, Pernstar.
So originally, this was a team started in Michigan with Tom and a couple other guys like Alan Boss. He's in Prospect right now, you know, with Lewis Lands and all them. And so what happened was Tom moved here to Florida, and for the first year of him being here, it was just me, him, and Fada, back-to-back every event. And so Tom invited us like, hey, you guys shred, you guys are good drivers, we drive together often, you guys want to join the team? And we're like, of course, this is what we're here for. And he's like, the main rule is, you know, this is a quality over quantity type team, and you guys show the quality, and we don't mind throwing 2 more drivers on the team. And so, yeah, here we are now. And it's basically like now we're going to hit comps together. It's like so me and Fada were down because, you know, Corvettes like to break down at events. So we were both down all those events. And Tom was supposed to be our spotter because his BRZ is capable for comp driving, but it's not his best interest because he doesn't have his S650 or 550 running. So there's that. But yeah, and we just added my uncle. He's a new driver. You know, I've been teaching him. Second event out, it's able to tandem with him. So it feels good to be, you know, showing him what to do, and he's able to like pick it up and do it. So I got a new driver tandeming second event out.
That's amazing.
It feels good on my part, and I know what I can tell him what to do.
And I'm sure it feels good on his part.
Bro, he was like ecstatic.
But yeah, I think it comes like both. It's like not only I guess the student being receptive of it, but also like the teacher knowing what to say, like not getting too aggressive with him, but like showing him, having him practice it, and then seeing him do it on his own. Like, because some people, you learn on your own. Like I kind of learned on my own. I took pointers from everybody, but like it wasn't anyone in my ear like, just flick it a little more this way, a little more. Like,
we had a walkie-talkie in his helmet, and I'm just telling him while he's drifting what to do, lay on the throttle, lay off. Because he has a SN97, you know, the older school Mustang.
Yeah.
We set up a private event for learners. So we had 16 drivers, all learner cars. And so Merrick is the one who set it up, and Team No Tread came out and helped us with it as well. So we had a bunch of teachers per se. All these new drivers were at the starting grid at OSW and just telling them what they could work on. So it was actually an amazing event, and I wish OSW can do more learners event, because talking with new drivers, the struggle they had was they don't know when private days are because they don't know anyone yet.
Right.
OSW only has it once or twice a year for the Learner's Day.
Mm-hmm.
So if they implement more and they sell out immediately the same night.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of room left for new drivers to drive, and I feel like that's a turnoff for new drivers because they can't get into certain private events because they don't know anyone yet. Right. They don't know how the schedule goes.
It's true, and it does. I mean, I personally say get over it, but like the fact of like being a new driver going into C class and like everyone watching you and like feeling like, oh, I'm gonna spin out. Like, yeah, you're gonna spin out. That's okay. Mm-hmm. That's what I mean by get over it.
You know, like, you're talking about public days.
Going to a public day as your first time driver, like that's intimidating, and that turns people away. You know, like. Luckily, I was invited my first 2 events to a private day, which, like, once then I hit a public day as my 3rd event. I was like, I kind of got this.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see how it would kind of turn people away. All right, I'll just wait till Learner's Day. Learner's Day fills up.
And you can't.
I'll just wait till another one fills. Yeah. And then you never drive.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wish, you know. We all started fresh. Luckily enough, my first couple was the same way. I knew someone, Captain AWOL. He actually went to Nigeria.
I miss him, man. Bro.
I love that man. He taught me so much before he left to Nigeria. But shout out to Captain AWOL.
We gotta go visit him, bro. We just like show up. What's up, bro? We're here to party in the car.
I miss his accent. It was the funniest thing ever.
Dude, good guy too. Good guy.
Yeah.
So you did mention for a second that you got sponsors this year and everything. Yep. So who are they? Tell me about what's going on with the sponsorships.
So I picked up a couple. Speed Demons, of course, for the paint job. And on top of that, he is repainting or fixing whatever bodywork happens at an event. So let's say me and you go to an event, you know, a little oopsie happens, just drop it off. You get it ready for me that same week.
You need that.
Yeah.
Because you like driving hard.
Yeah. Like. There's no tell how many body parts are going to fly off the car. Speed Demons, John Fernandez in Tampa with the motor.
Cool.
There's this bent rim shop in Daytona. This is a funny story. So I'm driving by, this is recently, like 2-3 days ago. I'm driving by my Miata, just down International in Daytona, like 12 o'clock at night, just cruising, listening to music. And I just hear whistling. So I turn around and I look, and I just see a bunch of people in a circle. So I'm like, okay, let's go over there and see what's going on. So I pull in, and it turns out I remember the owner because he wanted to buy this Miata from my dad's shop. Okay. So me and him are talking, showing me his son Miata, and the wheels on the Vette are all bent. They're like terrible. And so with the new paint job, the wheels look terrible. So I was like, you know what? I need to bring my drift car here so you can fix my wheels. He's like, oh, you drift? I was like, yeah. And I show him some videos, and he's like, oh, my son wants to get into it. And so I was like, you know, I live like 30 seconds away. I bring the car here. So I go and I pick up the Vette, and I come back, and they're all like, whoa, Corvette with cage. And I'm like, yes. And I told the son to hop in the car, you know, rev it up. You know, I'm changing the motor, so I could care less. So I'm like, rev it. And I told him, I was like, I can do donuts right here. And at first he was like, no, my parking, it's a brand new shop too. Like he just opened up. It's like, oh, the parking spots. And he's like, you know what? Go for it. So I put his son in the passenger, and I do like 3-4 donuts, nothing too crazy. I hop out the car, he gives me a hug. He's like, come next week, I'll fix all the wheels for you, powder coat it, whatever you want for free. All it was such a fun night. Other than that, they were all cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. So now you're hooked up.
Yeah, I drop off the car next week for all the wheels to get powder coated.
That's all, dude. And if you didn't go, just see what's up with those people.
Exactly.
Like, that's awesome, man.
You know, sponsorship is not about, you know, making a proposal. It's just, you know, seeing how the vibe goes. If it works out, it works out. If not,
well, and like I've always talked with people, like providing value to them, like
exactly, yeah.
Which nowadays, yes, a lot of the value is videos or like posting or whatever, but like. You provided value, like his son enjoying that ride, and like him probably seeing that joy on his kid's face was like, dude, I like this guy. Like, you know, like that's awesome.
I told him, I said, whenever his son gets, I helped him. I was like, get it like a G35 or like E46, 350Z, and I'll teach him however long it takes for him to start driving. I'll be there for him.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's my offering to him. Yeah, and of course throwing his company's name on the car and everything like that as well.
Of course. Rep the name. But yeah, dude, fixing rims, that'd be that's interesting. I never thought about that as like an actual business.
Yeah.
Rims do get not even bent but curved. Like everyone curves their rims, dude. Like,
so I have a tire shop in Daytona.
Yeah.
Man, the amount of wheels we'll see, throw it on balancer and it's just like destroyed.
Wonky.
Yeah, like on the balancer. And so he has, the market for rims, especially just like regular people that driving that don't even do anything
right
into cars. They hit curbs and it just happens.
Yeah, dude. My girl's rims are horrible. And that's just her driving down the street.
So yeah, especially female drivers, we see it a lot.
Yeah, it happens. Like,
they're based out here in Orlando as well.
True.
Yeah, so that's their nuke location in Daytona. But very nice guy.
What was it called again?
I don't remember the exact name, but it's like Bent Rim Repair.
Bent Rim Repair.
Yeah.
True. Nice, dude. Dang. So last time we were talking about 240s. I've always loved 240s. They've always been one of my favorite cars ever, and now I feel like it's just too old of a chassis.
Yep.
Like, if you're gonna build a pro level car, I guess, but it's not even. I don't even think that those chassis are really worth it anymore. But people do like how they drive if you do have it set up right. So 240s, yes, no?
For me, it's a no.
Yeah.
So we can go the funny route, or we can go the strictly down the route I really truly think. Funny route, I hate them. Especially the owners. Because I mean, okay, so if you look at 240s and you look at the two different type of people that drive it, there's the one that drives it really hard. You think of like Ebisu, over in Japan, they're like meth missiles, right?
Yeah.
Come over here to the States, you see a lot of nice paint jobs, real wheels, this and that. And what comes with that is, I believe, I see a lot of people with egos. And with that, they kind of get butthurt when someone like me comes around, your 240 doesn't look good, or you need to drive it harder. When someone comes up and they're not expecting that type of attention.
Yeah.
And I've received a lot of hate.
Yeah.
You can receive more hate. My DMs are open. And so that's my thought on 240s. I like the way they look.
Yeah.
I don't hate them like that.
If you had to pick, what's your favorite type of 240 SX?
I honestly don't know the difference between
like the S13, the hatch.
I cannot tell you which one. That's how least attractive I am.
The Zenki, the kooky, nothing.
Oh, the kooky, I know. I like the kooky look. Yeah. But other than that, I don't know which model's which. Or I just know what a 240 looks like. And everyone knows the little sticker I have in the back of my Corvette.
Yeah.
Of the Calvin pissing on 240.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd still love an S15 one day, but that's like that's like ultimate dream stuff. But
you know what?
I kind of did outgrow them a little bit.
So I drove Jay Canuck's 240, and the person he bought it from competed in Pro-Am with it. So I think it was like an LS1 or LS2 built motor, a T56 swap, like a very nice built car, cage. It's a comp car.
Yeah.
And he let me drive it in Georgia at FDD. And I'm not going to lie, it was probably one of the best cars I've driven. But I'm not sure if it was because it was made that way or that's how that car actually drives. Because there was nothing stock about it. It was literally basically like a vet, motor, tranny, everything, and a 240.
Yeah. That's when like I hear that they work the best. Like when it's just like a proven chassis in that aspect. The geometry's right for when everything you want is put in there properly, and they run. But I don't know. So then what? Obviously the vet, you like the G's and Z's, but what else would be a car then that somebody could step into, make a drift car
so like a learner car, or just like in general
that would replace a 240? Because you're saying 240 trash can,
they
so
are.
Then that spot's left open. So what could we place in there?
That's a good question. We really don't see a lot of like Camaro's driving, but again, they're very heavy. Mike Evans drives a Camaro, and I think he would do better in a different chassis, but he's driving it. But yeah, I'd like to see more like American cars, like Camaros. What other American cars are out there?
It's like Vet Mustang.
Yeah, but there's not much. I like Miatas. I drove. There's these two brothers, the Roca brothers, Jose and Pedro, and that's all they are, Miatas. Yeah. Jose been blowing up motors every event recently. It's kind of funny, but he's really been putting a lot of time and effort, and he would get the swap done the same week. Yeah. And he let me drive it one time, and I was just like, let me see how this thing is. A lot of clutch kicking, but it's turboed. There's a lot of game. Like, I give him a lot of respect for driving that car, because it's not like me and the Vet. I have such long gearing. I just throw it in second, and every now and then clutch kick it when I need it. Right. And the Miata, it's like, you know, first, second, third, fourth, back to third, back into fourth, clutch kick, clutch kick, clutch kick. And so I think driving wise, he has way more experience than I do, because he has to do so much more. Rather than me, it's, you know, throw it in second. You know, skid. Yeah. If we're on a skid pad warriors, throw in second gear. Yeah. Him, he's going through gears.
That is interesting. That does, I feel like, elevate your driving.
It is,
for sure. Because then when you get on a faster track with the Vet, you might need to shift into that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, Miata. I mean, Miatas have always been one of my favorite, but they are. I've even seen now like NCs drifting and like the third gen.
Yeah,
like people are even now taking those to the track and stuff like that, which are cool. They're not my favorite, but I think it's cool that people are driving them for sure. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Camaro, you don't see much at the track for sure.
Mm-hmm. But for me, it's mainly like I don't look at chassis for like looks. You know, for drifting, I look at what can this car do. So I look at the function over form aspect of it rather than form over function.
Yeah,
which
you like
some people
missile cars.
Yeah, but like, but they do work though. Yeah. Like I think this is when we're at the last public day at OSW, we were talking, and there was this one 370Z. I'm talking. You probably seen it. It was a white one. There was no trunk on it. There was a nitrous bottle sitting in the rear. Yeah, I know. That dude was slaying the whole night. But you just look at the car like it's you know, it's a piece of crap. But he was driving it and he was killing it. Yeah. So that's like, that turns me on about certain cars. Like, it may look like this, but it acts like this. You know.
Yeah, I do get that. There must be some little aspect of like, my car isn't that clean. I don't need it. I could throw it. Or my car is clean. I need to be careful with it. Like even if people are like, there are people that have super clean cars that throw their cars.
Major respect to them.
Like, there's absolutely people like that in this sport. But there must be some little thing in your brain that's like, this is super clean. I better not like go too close to the wall. I better not get too close to their doors. Like, there's got to be a little bit.
Yeah, like that first video we made that I made about the 240 topic. Like, they don't drive it hard enough because they're clean. And if you remember, there was actually two sides of the story. People that agree, like, you know, they don't drive hard enough because they are clean. And on the other side is, yeah, we're clean, but we like proximity more than like doors. Yeah. And so there's two aspects to it. I understand, like, you know, you just got nice wheels, you got paint job, body kit. It's expensive. Yeah. You know, I understand that you don't drive it as hard, but I mean, I'm more driver mod than what the car looks like. So if the car looks a certain way and I think it's going to stop me from driving the way I drive, I'm not going to drive it. Like right now, the paint on the Vet looks amazing. And I'm looking, I'm like, man, it's going to suck that I'm going to ruin it. But I told myself, like, look, it's a comp car. No matter how it looks, we got to drive it the same way. Yeah. So that's the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah. So it has that little piece has gotten me.
Yeah. And I hate it because I know it's going to be in the back of my mind every event. But I just got to like put a scratch somewhere on, but like, yeah, drift car now.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do. Take your key and just
it's ready.
Oh man, dang, dude. Is there anything else you want to touch on or go over before we close this out?
No, I feel like we went over everything. Yeah, everything went good. Yeah,
that was a great conversation, man. Well, I appreciate you coming by.
Next
year, you come by again, dude. We'll catch back up, see what's happening. But like this episode, drop a thumbs up, leave a comment, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.